Hello, I hope you're all doing fine. And in today's video, we will be looking with Durward. So Durward will be explaining an exploration around connecting into the center line. So we will be simply going through a few steps of advancing on the connection, and we might get a funny effect at the end of the video. So keep watching, and we'll explain the exploration.
Okay, so let's look at a particular series of exercises that we can use to look at how to enter into the center or to connect with the center of our partner. Okay, so this is just one doorway, but it's a very interesting and effective doorway. So the first thing we're going to do is actually quite simple. What I want to do with my partner is just kind of with a straight hand here, I'm going to push into my partner. Okay? And what I want to do is that anywhere I push from, I can move all around my partner, and anywhere I push from, I want to push directly into the center. You can even imagine that our partner has a center line. So wherever I push into, I want to push right into that center line and get into his whole body. Okay? Now what I mean by that is if I push my partner and I'm off that center line, it's just going to turn. Okay? But if I'm closer or on the center line, it's harder for him to turn, and I can push my partner over. Okay? So I want to try that from different angles. Again, if I'm off center, if I'm pushing off center, it just turns my partner. But if I'm pushing right into the center, or at least close enough into the center, it's hard for him to turn around it, and it pushes his whole body. So in that way, I capture his whole body with the attack or the push. Okay? Now, in that same line, the second step of this is to connect with my partner. Okay? And I want to not only push through my partner, but actually I want to connect into the center line and connect down to the ground. Essentially, which means I want to connect into the feet. The easiest way to do this is to start from the back. Okay? And we can do this with one hand or two hands. Two hands is easier in the beginning. And when I do this, I want to imagine again that center line that goes all the way down to the feet and to the ground. And if I get this, if I push straight down, it's going to be difficult because I'm pushing directly against the ground if he's lined up. So I need to kind of draw him out a little bit and then reach in. Okay, right into through the center line. So it's not pushing against the center line, but I'm pushing through the center line to do that. Okay, so I have to kind of open him up and push through the center line as if I'm going to trap his feet into the ground. Okay, like a bamboo plant. And when you bend the bamboo plant, it bends, but you don't want to snap the bamboo, but you want to almost plant it deeper into the ground. And when I do that, I can do this from any angle or any place. So I can do it here from the shoulder, for example. When I go in, I don't want to push my partner over, right? But I want to open and capture my partner into his feet. Okay? And it makes it a little bit difficult for him to move. Okay? So if I do that, even from the front, I can do this. I can go into my partner's center and down into his feet there. So I want to find that. And then when you find that, one little hint about this is that if I get that, then, actually let me show it to you from this side. If I get his center line, then it doesn't hurt or push against him, but actually it just goes right through his body and right into his feet, and it's harder for him to walk. Okay, so if he tries to step out, he realizes he won't be able to, or he'll fall down. Okay, so it captures his balance in that sense. Okay? So we can work with that and go all the way through. Now we can also do that with an attack. So if my partner grabs me, then I can move myself in such a way where I get his center line, right? I connect to his center line, and I go all the way into the feet. Okay? And eventually, with that, then it'll go all the way down to the ground. Okay? Which will create the fall, because he can't move anywhere. So the only place for him to go, if he tries to continue to attack, is to fall down to the ground. Okay? So with that, if we have our partner, and we connect with one hand, two hands, and we start to connect in different places into the center line, right, there, then as we do this, then we can also end up with a very interesting exercise that we do from the ground. So it doesn't stop here. So as my partner tries to get back up, what I want to do is touch that center line in such a way where it's difficult for him to get up. Okay? Now to do that, I have to feel. I can't just push him down. So if I push him down, he can stand right back up. So I actually literally push against this force. Okay? But when I have my partner, and he's down, and this works with techniques as well, obviously, but if I have my partner here, and I'm touching that center line and touching the ground, then I can feel his balance. And I have to rest, stay in that feeling sense. So when he's trying to get up, I want to feel that. Feel where it is. And so this is not only an exploration of center line, but also an exploration of balance. And he just ends up staying there. Now if he gets up, it's not a big problem, but I want to work and play with that center line. And we want to do this in a way that we both are smiling, okay? So it's not a competition. So this is a way to get into a practice of finding the center line. And eventually this could be worked again in techniques, in a free flow as you develop that sense. So thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again in some other videos.